Okay, so let me make this disclaimer. I am using a different format, so this is probably not going to be forever, but this is going to be a format I'm going to use just for now. Welcome everybody to the POV podcast. I am Mal, and I'm here with you to talk about Efeds and other stuff. I have been pushing this back so many times that it really annoyed me. So I'm just here to say I'm going to do this episode, and I'm going to do it with Audacity and Powered Editor. I already made the render, so might as well do it, mate. Anyways, this podcast is basically about Efeds and how to grow your Efed, and I know nothing about Efeds, mostly video game Efeds, because I don't know nothing about form Efeds. That's for the Efed podcast to do that, and I really hope I'll be on that podcast very soon. That'd be tough if I can be. But anyways, on to business. Where have I been? I have been literally doing everything else but. I wanted to do this podcast a couple of times, but I didn't do it. School was dragging me out. Game development was dragging me out. And I might do another podcast called Graveyard Shift, which I'm going to do it when I feel like doing it or something like that. It's going to be on my own schedule. I should have recorded one when I had a guest, but I'm just looking for a guest for that podcast. We talk about life, video games, music, just everything else but EFEDs. And EFEDs sometimes, just to say what we doing, all that stuff. Yeah. So, on track. I've been doing game development and I've been doing recording stuff and producing stuff for my channels. So yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. I have something to talk to y'all about, which is going to be the future of this channel and what I'm going to be doing in 2020 or probably late 2019 or something like that. So be tuned. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, let's get on with some of my Zero Wrestling news. Currently, NAW this Sunday, because it's the final week of week 4, is Homecoming. Homecoming is going to be the final event for NAW for 2019. Just for 2019, this is going to be the final event for NAW because after Homecoming, there's no turbos for the rest of the year until 2020. 2020, we're gonna pick things back up, and we're gonna have turbos and our first event, New Year's Retribution. That's the first event for NAW, and the first turbo is probably gonna be the biggest turbo of them all. So stay tuned for that. I have been thinking about PSPW and the fate of PSPW. Probably just gonna do an event once a month or twice a month, just to hype up the event and do road twos, probably something like that, something like New Japan. Road to this, road to that, road to this tournament, the tournaments, and then the road to this, just stuff like that. We're gonna have a Christmas special, and it's gonna be a fun Christmas special. Probably I might record it on Christmas. I don't know. I don't even know, man. Depending on how I feel. And what else been going on with me? My retarded self been doing XCW, a hardcore fair that's gonna do once a month, cause it's hardcore. It's ultra violence. January is gonna be the first of the mini of. Well, we already published the XCW champion event where we crown our first XCW champion. Zulite the Great is our first XCW champion. Zulite is the leader of Wrestling Video Game Universe Amino and its Discord, where leagues slash feds and wrestling video games is the topic to discuss. and life, because who doesn't want to talk about life and how they feel, all that stuff. Ah, now this is the part where I talk about my little special thing. If y'all saw my channel, you saw 2K. My channel is mostly for Fire Pro, but I'm thinking about uploading my main character for 2K, his matches, his promos, his update tires, all that stuff, because I don't want to just be just the Fire Pro community. I want to be with all video game communities because I love video games. I love wrestling video games. So I thought about having a 2K, something with 2K. Something I want to do in 2K. I once did a Efed for 2K, but that failed. I did so many Efeds for 2K that it literally just failed. I've been literally a failure in 2K, but with Fire Pro, I succeeded and failed, but mostly failed. But I succeeded in some things. Like I had a Fed over a year. That's crazy. And now I'm just like, what am I gonna do with this? I want to do something special. I might do this thing called Lionheart Wrestling. It's gonna be a mixture of everything. It might do monthly events, probably weekly shows, but that's gonna take most of my time. And I gotta do Fire Pro stuff. I gotta be like dedicated to my fan base on Fire Pro. Or whoever watches my videos, because I don't know who watches my videos at all. My videos is not that good, but people like it. So I was like, okay, that's cool, man. Like, y'all like what I do. Now I want to test myself with something that I know is going to be difficult. I want to make myself better as an editor in literally making videos. So I might do Lionheart Wrestling for 2K. Might do another channel, or maybe might do is this channel. I don't know. But that's something I want to do. But with what 2K? That's the question. What 2K I might use? I might use 2K19 until I get 2K20. So I might make a Twitter for Lionheart Wrestling, or I might use the Zero Wrestling's Twitter account and make something for Lionheart Wrestling. So apparently 2K20 doesn't have creative belts, so I might use the old school WWE belts or the WCW belts and then make that as our championships. Because I ain't using the modern titles. Never. They look ridiculous sometimes. But anyways, so I might do Lionheart Wrestling for 2K20 and 19 because 2K20 is broken, so I might use 2K19 because I have almost everything I needed in that game. So yeah, that's something I might do. What's next on my list? What I'm going to do with this character named Troy Blackwell. That is my OC for 2K, and I'm going to do a lot with him. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to start doing. 2K20, 2K19, Lionheart Wrestling, and Troy Blackwell. Now, I literally been thinking about some guests I want to put on this podcast, such as the new Extreme Wrestling commissioner slash owner. Put him on the podcast, talk about Efed, all that stuff. Maybe EOW like commissioner or owner, put on podcast. Even I'm thinking about asking Cedric to be on this podcast and we talk about pro wrestling, Efeds, the state of Efeds, the state of Fire Pro Efeds, all that stuff, and just stuff like that. And I was also thinking about I want to talk to somebody that does form Efeds and try to get the insight of how things work. Because I know form Efeds, they do like promos, they write out the matches. I want to know how that works because I don't know nothing about form Efeds other than the stuff I heard about in the Efed podcast. Shout out to the Efed podcast. There's some they're cool as people. Trying to keep my language to a simple language because I'm not home and I gotta respect my granny. So yeah, there's some cool mofos and I really like their stuff. I like what they do. I like the interviews. I would love to be a part of that podcast and I would love to be literally a part of their community. Because all my podcast does is just talk about e-feds and I used to talk about what my opinions, my point of views on e-feds and how to do things if I was the booker. Now I'm kind of lost of what I want to talk about. Probably that's why I want to know what y'all want me to talk about because at the end of the day, this is for y'all, and I do this on my own time. I want to do it once a week, but I don't know how to do it right now. Lost for words, you know. I guess right now I could talk about how I would do Lionheart Wrestling. How I would do Lionheart Wrestling is simple. It's gonna be my creative stuff, my creative characters, maybe some other people who want to join this fed. It we just wrestle. Like we will not have, and we won't start with a weekly show. We'll start with a big event, inaugural. That's the big event. It's gonna be called inaugural, where we crown a champion in a four-man tournament for every titles. Of course, the world title is gonna be the last title to be crowned. We might have a women's division. We might not have a women's division, and we might not have a tag team division, or maybe have a tag team division. I don't know. Depends on how many people I get done and how many people I want to join. There could be a tag team. There could be a woman. There could be a man. There could be a trans. There could be anything they want to be. Storylines. Storylines would be kind of simple. It's not gonna be complex storylines. Probably just gonna be like, oh, you beat me up, or oh, we beefing because of this, beefing because of that, this and that, sneakers or hats. You know, just something simple, nothing complex for the first few months, and then once we start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, that's when we start doing more storylines that is more complex. Because right now we want to gain interest. Interest is the first thing we need to get interest and a little fan base or a cult following because you can't just have an e-fed that just started out and you want to start in a stadium. When I listened to the smoke room with the ex VPW owner or commissioner, I don't know what the hell commissioner is supposed to be doing. I don't know. But when I was speaking to him, he said most EFEDs start off in big stadium arenas and all that stuff. We start off in a school. So I thought about maybe we might start off in a small arena or something like that. Nothing big, nothing too grand. Or have a story behind it. Well, how come we start off in a big arena for inaugural, then we just double down and we be in a warehouse or something, or a ballroom, something small, nothing big, nothing grand, just something like meh. Cause the story behind this I want to put in is that we or the leader of Lionheart Wrestling, Willie Wildside, Mr. Wildside, I think that's his name is. He has some money left over from other e-feds that was literally dead. Well, my e-feds, like Underground Wrestling, AZW, Underground Wrestling Alliance, Frontline, all those, he kind of bought them out. So he takes some of their pay-per-view names, some of their talent names, some of their stuff, and he bought them, and he salvaged them. He salvaged them, and he got a lot of money. So he was like, I want to start off big. I want to start off grand. I want to start off this and that. So he literally used a couple thousands, or depending on how much the arena costs, just for a medium-sized arena. Not a stadium, but an arena. A medium-sized arena just for that one show. And then he used the rest of the money to rent for a small arena or a ballroom just to keep it for a couple months. And then the other part of money is for talent, titles, and all that stuff. No pyro. Maybe pyro, depending on how big the power is. But yeah, that's how it's going to work. That's probably the story I might write and use for now. But yeah, that's how it's going to be for now. So that's what I thought about, because I had nothing else to think about. How the story is going to go. Willie Wildside bought out 4 companies, used some of their trademarks, and now he's going to use them. Use the salvage that he used the money that he salvaged and rent out 2 arenas, one for one time only, other one just for temporarily, and he just stays in Maryland because that's where I live, Maryland. And plus, he don't have to travel, so traveling is gonna be nothing, fucking like nothing major, because he only travels when it comes to like a certain events. He'll travel. Most of the time, we staying in Maryland, staying in DMV. That's all we're gonna do. But anyways, what else I should say about Lionheart Wrestling? Maybe Lionheart Wrestling can be like a hybrid Fed, or a how it works. You can role play, role playing could be cool. And sometimes if you cut promos, I might put it in the show. Whether it's like nothing long. I don't want no long promos, like 10-minute promos. That's too much, man. Just something short, sweet, to the point. Well, blunt. Something blunt. Like, I want this title. Why? Reasons, such blase, 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 blase. Or I hate this guy because reasons, blase, 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 blase. Promos are meant to hype up something, I think. Or promos are meant to get a story out there. To hype up, to get a story ongoing, and literally to just make sense of what's going on right now. Have a promo for 10 minutes and beating around the bush. That is, to me, that's just like, I'm not interested at all. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to make sense of what I just read or heard and stuff. I just want promos to make sense, promos to be blunt, promos to be short, not no 30-minute promo. Hell, Lionheart Wrestling, if it does a weekly shows, it's not going to start off with promos, most likely. It will start off with a match, then a promo, then a match, promo, because we need breaks in between the action. So that's what I thought about doing. I'm trying to take what's left of my sanity and my creativity and put it into a game that I'll be limitless with. Fire Pro is good. It's a very good game and it has good simulations, but you're very limited to what you do. versus 2K, you can have all the creative stuff. The problem is that 2K20 takes away some creativity, which is not going to make any sense. For example, the titles. You can't create no titles. You can create a Money in Bank, which is dumb. I don't like that. But you can't create a title, which is stupid. I don't want to rant and rave right now because I want to make this short. Probably this podcast will probably gonna be 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I don't know. Because usually when I'm home alone, I do longer podcasts and I have a lot of things to say, but now I can't. I'm trying to keep it mellow. Anyways, championships will be for Lionheart Wrestling will be determined either in rankings if I have enough sanity for that, or with storylines. There will be battle royals to battle royals or tournaments to determine a number one contender for the titles. Who's number two contender? Cedric says. God dang it, you don't have to say it. But number two contenders is going to probably be next in line for the title. For example, if the number one contender fails, the last person in that battle royal probably might get an opportunity to go for the title. Or, in storyline wise, he's next in line for any potential storylines. That either with title or not title, and then he become number. Then he be in charge of the championship. Oh my god, I'm confusing myself. Ugh. I'm not editing nothing out, okay? Because this is a one-take podcast, and I don't feel like editing stuff because I already edited Homecoming. I already edited the freaking Troy Blackwell entrance and stuff. I don't feel like editing anymore. I just want to get this podcast out there as soon as possible. But anyways, this is the worst podcast episode ever. But number two, the last person to be beat, for example, if it's a battle royal, the last person that got eliminated, he's probably next in line for the title. If the number one contender loses or wins, depending if stuff happens. And yeah, just to put it that simple, without explaining anything a lot. I explain things too much. I really do. Anyways, that's out here in the championships. There's probably gonna be 3 titles. The major championship, which is the Lionheart Wrestling Championship or World Heavyweight Championship, just to be cliche as hell, because apparently in the title editor there's no lion and there's no heart. It's just World Heavyweight Championship, so it's gonna be that. There's going to be a mid-card title or a secondary championship that is going to be for people who is like the rising stars to become the next champion, but they're not world champion material. And then, if possible, I might have either a no disqualification championship or hardcore title, or something special. The division championships, such as women's and tag teams, might happen depending on the roster. It might. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, my sanity is losing every day. What's next? Roster size. Roster size is not going to be big. I don't want a big roster at all. Probably around 20 something will be fine with me. That means I could just mess around with everybody, get some storylines, get some bumping, and yeah. Weekly matches, probably 3 or 5, but mostly 3. Length of every episode, 30 minutes. 30 minutes is probably the minimum. Next thing. I think the next thing is going to be, I did talk about the episode length. 30 minutes is the minimum. It could go over depending on how long the matches go, how long the promos go, and if it's a special. But yeah. Well, 2 matches is the minimum, or depending on how many matches or what match it is, it could be an all-nighter. I don't know. What's next, mate? Pay-per-view times, probably an hour. I don't want to do no 2-hour pay-per-views because that's going to be take a lot of my memory, and I ain't going to like it. That reminds me, I gotta delete some stuff. So, dang, I got a lot of footage I need to delete right now, just to get more space in my computer. What's next? Storylines. I think I'll talk about that. It'll make sense. It'll be short, sweet, to the point. Diversion, such as roster diversion. I'm planning on having 8 females, rest is men. And then as time goes on, it's gonna be more and more and more people popping up. So yeah, that's something. What else? Pushes. Pushes probably going to be happening depending on how good the match is or how will the character get over. And match quality. I might play the matches, like choreography the matches, or I might sing the matches, depending on how like the matches is. Like if it's like a mid-card match that is not really that much interest, I might sim it. If it's a major match, I might choreography it to get some spots in, to get the match make sense, and to get storylines. Basically, most Efeds do that. They sim the match, sometimes choreography the match, so that the match can like get more quality, better quality. Especially in pay-per-views. Pay-per-views, I might do all match choreography, and the TV might be simmed, or some might be choreography, but most of it's gonna be simmed. But yeah, that's basically what I would do with Lionheart Wrestling. Got any questions you can ask, and I will answer them. Now for Troy Blackwell, I'm a BS him. Kano's gonna be my guy on Fire Pro, and Troy's gonna be my guy on 2K. So if you want to book Troy on 2K 19 and 20 after 2020, like once 2020 hits, I might get 2K 20. So Troy might be open for bookings that by then. So, but if you're using 2K 19, Troy is open for bookings right now. I already got him into a few feds, so let's hope it'll be good. So I guess that's all I got. So I guess that's all I gotta say right now. This might be the end of the podcast. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Catch you guys in next time.